Alright guys, so here we are for episode number 2 of the F1 2014 modded career mode, otherwise known as season 4 of F1 2013 career mode. So here we are for Malaysia. Hopefully we can back up the kind of good result we had in Australia. Engineer?
Having the right strategy can make all the difference. Here you'll find information about the amount of fuel you have in your car and how many sets of tyres you have remaining and their current level of wear. You can also change tyre strategy in advance of the race.
Yeah, apologies about that. Apparently, because I've started this new career mode on PC, the game thinks I'm a complete noob at this, but here we are for Malaysia. That's the strategy. 3 stops. It's completely different to what we saw in Melbourne, just doing the 1 stop. Melbourne was a bit of an exception because the tyre compounds used in that Grand Prix were pretty conservative in comparison to what you normally see on this game, but here we've just got the regular compounds, so the tyre wear will balance out with the tyre compounds we're using. So 3 stops is the strategy today, maybe even 2 stops if we can maybe endure the tyre wear enough, but once again, starting from last, I think it's a good balance starting from the back of the field, so hopefully we can get off to a good start.
Go.
So, here we are in Malaysia for the second round of the championship. Hopefully we can continue that momentum we started in Melbourne. And away we go here in Malaysia. Looks like the start has been absolutely terrible. The back markers have left me for absolute chips coming into turn 1. So, I'm just going to take this nice and easy. We do have realistic damage to contend with, so I guess easing off at the start might help us a bit as we go around the outside of everyone there, and then Kvyat sort of blocks off our run there, so now we've got nowhere to take our momentum into the first couple of corners. We got the inside of Chilton there into P20 now, and we get a little bit of rear sliding with the rear traction there, but we're still maintaining 20th place at the moment. Looks like there's a Force India that's gone off track there, and there's debris gone everywhere. Got to have a look at that, and wow, we've completely smashed into the back of a Caterham there. I believe it's Kamui Kobayashi. I was just looking behind me to see what the incident was, and I think Kamui completely turned onto the inside line because there's no one really in front of me at the time, but either way, I should have been focusing on the road ahead. That's a massive mistake. I shouldn't have really done that, but now we've got a puncture. I've got to limp this thing back into the pits as soon as I can. We've lost about 20 to 30 seconds to the leaders now, and that is really frustrating. I think Kamui actually retired from the race. I don't believe he lost a wheel, but he felt the damage was bad enough to retire from the Grand Prix, so I do apologise for that. But now we're coming in for a pit stop. We've got Nico Hulkenberg, who I believe was the Force India who had that spin, is coming in for his pit stop as well. So this is going to be a pretty lengthy pit stop here from Lotus. We've got to check to make sure that there's no suspension damage to the car, because we did limp it back to the pits with the suspension just about riding on the tarmac there, but front wing change as well, and we actually emerged in front of Hulkenberg, who had to make his stop as well. So guys, in the comments, let me know if you think me and Hulkenberg can come back and finish inside the points from here. Pause the video, let me know what your predictions are, and we'll see how we go at the end of the video. But now we've caught up to the back of Max Chilton here on lap 8, up the inside and into position 19 with Sergio Perez right in front of us now as we cut to lap 9. And we're going to try and pass him coming into the penultimate corner. We know we lock up the inside front, just like he did chasing down Fernando Alonso back in the 2012 race, where he was trying to get that elusive first race win. But either way, now we're trying to get past Perez. I think we're going to save it for the back straight. No, we're not. We're going to pass him up the inside coming into the final corner. We ran wide a little bit there on the final corner there. Didn't shift down into first gear quick enough. But now we've got the slipstream. No DRS here. Perez got the DRS on that straight, so that was a little bit weird. But now, surely we'll be able to pass him coming into turn 1. And yes, we do. Job done. Into 17th place now. And hopefully we can continue this momentum into the rest of the race. Our tyre wear so far hasn't been too bad, so that's a bit of a That's pretty relieving, to be honest, because now we can actually fight with the rest of the AI for possibly the rest of the race. We'll have to wait and see. But we got the inside of Adrian Sutil there and into position 16. So lap 11 now, we're thinking about coming in for our stop now in just a couple laps time, but now we're trying to get past Esteban Gutierrez, and it's a double overtake as we get past Marcus Ericsson as well, who was holding him up coming into turn 1. So the Caterham there has very poor braking ability, holding up Perez, not Gutierrez, and it allowed for me to have a double overtake there. But now cutting to lap 13, I'm coming in for a new set of tyres. I believe I'm going to switch to an effective 2-stop. I'm going to go primes and then primes again. The default strategy here for the field is 3 stops with options for the majority of the race. So I'm going to try and effectively get away with 1 less stop if you discount that first stop we made on the first lap. That doesn't really count. So I've got to make a 2-stop work. Hopefully the tyre wear is favourable for me. I'm going to try and do my best to take it easy on the front left tyre. Try and keep the temperatures down as much as I can. And we'll see how we go at the end of the race. Up the inside of Gutierrez there once again, who I don't believe has stopped. So he's lost a lot of time in the last 4 or 5 laps, staying out on his older tyres. But now lap 17, up the inside of Danny Fiat, and into 14th place we go. We're going to leave him a bit of room on the inside because the corner naturally sweeps away to the left. And there we go, up around the outside into P14 there. So here, lap 21, the Grand Prix is starting to get away from us now, almost halfway through this race, and we've caught up to the back of our teammate Romain Grosjean, and almost making contact there, coming through the fast right-hander. We make contact there. Grosjean goes off, but I let him back through because that overtake was slightly illegal, so I don't want to get any penalty there. I'll just avoid any doubt. As we got the inside of Grosjean there, braking very early, I just switched to the inside and almost got the move done. But now, just like the move on Danny Fiat, we're going to go around the outside, and we've left him a bit too much room. We've run ourselves out wide, but we get the move done into P12 now, and now cutting to lap 31. The majority of the field have made their stops as Massa now comes out of the pits on a new set of tyres. The 2 Williams drivers battling side by side now, and that allows us to get P5 up the inside of Bottas now. So I'm about to come in for my final stop now, set of prime tyres to come on in the next stint, and that should be enough to take us to the end of the race. So effectively we're going to get away with a 2-stop race here while the AI are doing 3 stops. So it's it just shows how much potential we had in this Grand Prix. If only that first lap incident didn't happen. But either way, we got to move on from that and try and do a little bit of damage limitation in this Grand Prix. I believe the Mercedes are leading this Grand Prix. We've got Nico Rosberg in first. Not too sure about who's in second. It might be Raikkonen or Hamilton. I'm not too sure. I haven't exactly seen the leaderboards as of yet, but now we're trying to get past Massa maybe on the straight here. I think I might actually come into the pits at the end of this lap as well, but using up all of our curves and the DRS, a bit of slipstream as well, and we're going to breeze past this Williams here with that Mercedes engine, just breeze past him. I think he was saving a bit of fuel there, but now we're coming in for what should be our final stop of the race. We've done about almost 20 laps on this set of primes, so, and you know, this set of primes really didn't go off that much. I'm just going for the undercut now because a lot of the field now has fresher tyres. So here we go, final pit stop. How is it? 5.6 second pit stop, so that was a bit slack. I believe it was a front wing change because of this incident here. Lap 29, we just cut the corner ever so slightly, touched the bollard there, and that sent the front end plate flying. So a bit unfortunate, but that's the result of the extra long pit stop there. So here we are, lap 33, coming around the outside of Jenson Button now, who breaks early coming into the hairpin. Seems to be a popular overtaking spot for us today. But now we're into P9, finally in the points for the first time in this Grand Prix. Up the inside of Daniel Ricciardo and lapping Marcus Ericsson there. We fly up the hand in frustration as I think we made ever so slight contact with the Caterham there. Here on lap 39, cutting onto 40, we've gone purple here as a few cars are coming into the pits, including Lewis Hamilton now, who's down into position 5. So he's going to be quick for the rest of this race on fresh tyres, but now it looks like we're actually staying with him on our older prime tyres. He's running prime tyres as well, so that's a bit of an explanation as to why we're able to stay with him. That Mercedes is very quick this season, but as you saw in the first race, they had some pretty big dramas that's put them out of the Grand Prix, but now they're looking to get some of their points back, as Hamilton now goes around the outside on the back straight. I think he's upped the tempo a little bit now as he was saving fuel for the last couple of laps, so it's going to be a little bit tricky to stay with Hamilton as he's running higher fuel revs and has fresher tyres. But I'm going to do my best to stay with him, maybe burn a little bit of fuel to stay with him if I can, so that I can almost, steal his lap time by having slipstream and then kind of pulling away from Magnussen if I can. But it looks like we've got a really nice exit on the exit of turn 4, and almost was almost having a look around the outside coming into this section here, but we're just going to settle in behind Hamilton for now. We're stuck in the dirty air, so that's not going to do. Our front tyre temperatures are too good, or even front aero capabilities. But Hamilton going a little bit defensive coming into the hairpin. Like Jenson Button, we go around the outside, and Hamilton doesn't really defend too much, but he's just got enough retraction to defend from us. Now, my engineer wants me to pit on this lap, but he doesn't know that I've switched to the alternate two-stop strategy, so we can just ignore that message and just continue on as we were, as we're in P5 now. We got past Hamilton as I was talking about strategy and tyres, but Hamilton, as I said, is burning a lot of fuel at this phase of the race. His Mercedes is so much quicker than us in a straight line. As you can see, with the DRS, he just flies past. No point in really fighting there. Oh, well, I can't really fight because my engine is just that much slower than his, but I'm going to try and do my best with the DRS to even stay with him if I can. But that Mercedes has so much rear traction and drivability that it's almost impossible to stay with him. As we cut to lap 44, Max Chilton there bulldozes the bollard there and loses his front wing, so that's a bit unfortunate. He did exactly what I did, except a little bit worse, so he's lost the main plane of his front wing there. As we go up the inside, Hamilton now coming into the final corner. We're going to have a poor exit because we had a compromised line coming into the final corner, but it looks like we might just about get the move done. But Hamilton with the DRS is surely going to fly past around the outside and into position 3 once again. So it's looking like we might at least get P4 in this race. I believe Magnussen, the car behind, is 4 or 5 seconds back, so I'm hoping that me and Hamilton don't battle too much and we should be able to maintain at least the position that I'm in now. That's the aim. But here we are on lap 46, going around the outside of Hamilton once again, like we did a couple laps ago, and into position 3. The podium positions now, as we see on the replay there. Fairly nice move, just leaving each other enough space. But now Hamilton is coming back at me now. I've saved up a little bit of my curves for this penultimate back straight, but Hamilton in that Mercedes, as always, is just going to be so fast in a straight line. I might try and dive it up the inside as a counter attack to Hamilton. Rosberg goes fastest there, 137.1, and Hamilton there completely just turns out of the corner there, gives me the position. No contact there, as you can see on this slow-mo replay of the front nose cam. We get very close to Hamilton, but we don't get close enough to touch him. He just turns out of the corner and gives us a spot on the podium. We'll have a look on another replay here, but this should be more telling. Watch how close we get to Hamilton. We don't touch him, but he just turns out of the corner and gives us P3. I don't believe he did that. He just put himself in the gravel there. But here we are on the final lap. Nico Rosberg has won the race. Kimi Raikkonen is going to come home in second. We're going to finish in third. And after you consider the start of the race we had, it was an absolute disaster. To come home on the podium is an absolutely fantastic result.
Well done, good race.
Well, there we go, third place in the Malaysian Grand Prix. I'll take that any day after dropping 30 to 40 seconds on the first lap to the leaders, passing all those cars and getting away with one less stop effectively over the field. So our teammate finishes in 16th place. Kamui Kobayashi was the only retirement of the Grand Prix, and Nico Hülkenberg ended up in 13th place. So if anyone predicted I'd finish in 3rd and Hülkenberg in 13th, then congratulations, you win a cookie. But yeah, there we go, Malaysian Grand Prix done and dusted. Let's have a look at the driver standings. I believe we should be there or thereabouts in the top 3.
You're still topping the Drivers' Championship table.
Well, there we go. Topping the driver's standings. That's not too bad. I believe because the Mercedes did so poorly in the first race, I think if I just got a decent result here, then I'd still be leading. So that makes sense. Rosberg is now third after not scoring any points in Melbourne. That's a pretty good comeback for him. In the Constructors, Lotus is in second, only 4 points shy of Ferrari. But yeah, there we go. That's round 2 done and dusted of career mode. Until the next race in China, I'll see you guys next time.
Uh-oh, retard alert!
I don't know what you're talking
Oh,
about.
nice Lotus. I'm so done.